What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight. Last week, Eric Young did defeat Eddie Edwards for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we do kick it off tonight with Impact with the new World Champion himself, Eric Young, who came out after, like I said before, beating Eddie Edwards. He said he is a world-class man and a world-class professional wrestler and a world-class maniac. And now he is a world-class champion. As he talked about, he took immediate action of taking out Swan at Slammiversary and now taking out Eddie Edwards. He is now the champion now. But before he could even continue, Alicia Edwards came out basically talking about Eric Young, saying, yes, you may be a world champion, but you're nothing but a coward to her, that you injured Swan just to make your way to Eddie. And Alicia said that Eddie will be back and take back what belongs to him. But Alicia says she's seen it all and everything about Eddie being stuck in the eye with a baseball bat by Sami Callihan, or douchebag trying to end their marriage, Ace Austin. But Alicia said that Eddie will return and whoop Eric Young's ass to take that title back to him, because Alicia went on and say that they have a little one at home and Eddie can't even hold his own kid at the moment. As Eric Young basically looked at Alicia Edwards and says, I don't care. Alicia ended up slapping him, and as Eric Young smiled, then he basically grabbed her, was going to set her up for a power driver, but Tommy Dreamer came out with a Kindle stick, pretty much saving Militia. Eric Young was pissed, saying, stay out of my business. Dreamer says, he would have been a hypocrite, say, if he hasn't given pile drivers the women in the past for in his career, but there's ramifications to this. And Dreamer said that Alicia's like family to him, and that when Eric Young left this company, that the men and women were still working here to keep this place going and giving you a place to come back to, that you may have been able to come back to this company, become the world champion. He's a hell of a wrestler, but you're also a piece of shit, basically scumbag that wants to end people's livelihoods. And now Dreamer says, I'm going to take you out. Why don't you try to end my career then, okay? Because, I've had some stroke in this company, and, I can make any type of match right now, so it can be Extreme Rules, old school rules match, or whatever. But I want a challenge against you tonight, because you've made your last mistake. So, Tommy Dreamer, folks, somehow, some way gets into the main event. When you see Tommy Dreamer, you're going to see some type of a hardcore match with him. So, it's going to be against Eric Young tonight, folks. Next, Rosemary, Ty, and Johnny Bravo, I guess they were planning this whole wedding thing. As Rosemary talked about this demon wedding that, we got to bring someone back from the dead, or I guess she's going to go work on that, so she ended up teleporting away. As Taya talked about bringing all this other stuff for the wedding. Chris Bay, who looked more pissed off this week, went against TJP since losing the X Division Championship. As the match went on, Raju came out to watch, but as the match pretty much went on, TJP ended up getting the win, pretty much rolling up Chris Bay, now giving him a title shot, which to see what Impact Management will think, because Chris Bay does get an automatic rematch, but since TJP ended up getting the win, most likely it'll be a triple threat between all three of these guys, kind of like before for the X Division title back in Emergence. So I expect to see that happen again, since Chris Bay took another L right here, but he still technically has a rematch, a title shot, so we'll see what happens. Next, we had locker room talk with Madison Ray and return Johnny Swinger, as they asked him about Wrestle House, saying, oh yeah, Wrestle House was great, and basically said it was like prison, which thank God Wrestle House is over anyways. I don't need to see that anymore on this show. Her guests, though, were Kylie Ray and Susie, as, she asked Kylie Ray about the whole, did you stay in Wrestle House, or are you trying to dodge Deonna Purrazzo, and everything, which Kylie Ray denied. And let's talk about your friend there, Susie, or some called Sue and whatnot. But Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly showed up there and said, you know what, you're going to pay for interrupting my black tie affair. And Swinger wanted a cat fight, but Purrazzo says, no, we will not do things uncivilized, okay? Next week we'll have a tag match, all right? Kylie Ray and Susie agreed then, as Madison Ray basically said, yeah, you guys can go. This show is over, but we will get a tag match next week with 4 of these teams. Not a bad segment. It was okay. Nothing too big or too little. Johnny Bravo was in the back, I guess, on the phone, talking about all these things for this wedding. But Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steele saying, yo, we on the guest and everything for this wedding and whatnot. But Kiera Hogan and basically told Johnny Bravo, like, you know what, man, you need to, before you even be a husband, like, you need to be a man and everything. You know, we could be your best groomsman and everything, but you gonna let Taya do everything for you all the time, huh? Like, you gotta listen to Taya for everything. Like, if she got to live your life or something, like, you need to make your own decisions. Be a man, Bravo. They told him, be a freaking man. So that could mean something into that, which kind of comes into later. Brian Myers then came out, talked about he's the most professional wrestler, talking about he's wrestled in 50 states all around this country and 27 times around the world, won titles on pay-per-views, has shared the ring with legends, and all he wanted was a handshake. But Willie Mack came out saying, I ain't gonna want no handshake. I want to put my hands around your neck, and then I'm gonna shake something out of you, okay? And I want a match right now. But Brian Myers in street clothes, but Mac took him out. Basically, this was a match. I don't know why we need to see this again. And, you know, Mac ended up pulling the shirt off of Myers and threw it, which for some reason the referee went after a shirt for some odd reason. I didn't understand that. And then Brian Myers kicked Willie Mack into the nuts then, and you know, hit him with like a big elevated DDT executioner style, and beat Willie Mack. Don't know why he's going over Willie Mack 2 times. I don't know where this feud is going between Mack and Brian Myers right now, but didn't really expect Myers to get another win over Mack and everything, even though it was an impromptu match. Jordan Grace was being interviewed by Gia Miller, talking about you know, the whole black tie affair and everything, but you know, it's about Tennille Dash from where she's been, how come she hasn't shown up to work for months. And Gia Miller says, you know, we can find out next time when she interviews her. But Grace said, no. Why don't we go find out right now? Well, she took the cameraman and Gia Miller and knocked on a door then, and said, where's Tennille? And some dude named Caleb, I guess it's her personal photographer. And Grace says, all right, when's she going to be done? She coming here this week? And Caleb said she's got more important things to do, which they got a video montage in Tennille Dash with posing then and multiple pictures, saying her return was next week, as Jordan Grace was pissed off. Really? I got to wait till next week? As she pretty much walked off pissed off after that. Taya walked up to Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz and basically said, you need to stay out of this wedding and everything, and when we going to get on the guests, and Taya says, I don't even know you. But Tasha said, I am the Boricua Badass, and you don't want none of this. Taya pretty much called them both Chihuahuas and said, I will then face you tonight, basically. Next, the Motor City Machine Guns went against the Rascals, Dez and Wentz for the tag titles, which are more aggressive Rascals this time. Not more, you know, the same old jovial, you know, Smoke 420 type of joking and whatnot. These guys immediately kicked the Guns off of the apron before the match even began, going after them. So we got to see more of an edge from the Rascals this time, go against the Guns. This was a very fun match to watch. Both of these teams are just great in general, especially the Guns and whatnot. But I know the Rascals about to get their win, but Saban got out the way. The Guns basically came back, pretty much hitting like several moves onto Wentz, taking him out. And they end up doing that, what's that double team move they do? Not the one with the net breaker and the splash, but it's the other one where they pick him up. It's like some type of double slam to the ground onto Wentz, and they held Dez back, which they still retain the tag team titles. Fun match, though. I recommend going back to watch that one. But as the Motor City Machine Guns celebrate, the North came out, attacked both the Guns then, and then next, you know, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton pretty much joined in. But then, you know, they were about to argue with the North, but Ethan Page, no. So, hold on a second, hold on. Because they were fighting who was going to beat up the Guns first. We'll take one at a time. Y'all take this one, we take that one. So as they went back to jump the Guns, the Good Brothers came out then for the save. And whatnot. Dez ended up jumping onto the rest of the heels outside and Wentz hit another dive to knock everybody down. And then we kind of had a bit of a stare down between the Guns and, you know, the Good Brothers and even the Rascals. So basically, this does set up for future possibilities with a lot of these matches, with all these tag teams basically showcasing all the tag division that they have right now between the Guns, the Good Brothers, the North, the Rascals, Fulton and Madman, Fulton and Ace Austin. So good way to showcase a little bit more of the tag teams, also basically coming out there wanting those tag team titles. So everybody's over in a hunt now to see who's going to get a title shot next. So at least they had a way to get all the tag teams on there. RVD and Katie Forbes talked about that they had good news since they beat the crap out of Sami Callihan last week. I wish they end this feud. RVD basically said that we'll get our own talk show next week. The whole effing talk show. You know, I would like to see a talk show with RVD when he just sits there and gets high most of the time. And, which I know the guy he knows things a lot. Go look at his shoot interviews. He knows too much. Maybe it's the weed, or maybe he's really that smart. I don't know, but I'd rather see that than, minus Katie Forbes and whatnot. But they did have a video with Callahan once again being a hacker and saying that, he beat RVD last week, but Katie Forbes is just too much, and he's going to be, people's numbers over the years and whatnot. And that Katie Forbes, wants to debut her own segment, but this segment, he's going to have his own plans for it. I don't know where this feud is going with both of these two, but since RVD has a show next week, and now Callahan is gonna find a way to interrupt it, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't really need to see this feud anymore, and I need both of these guys to move on to something else. Taya went against Tasha Steelz. I know they had Johnny Bravo basically kind of act mostly on the phone, distracted throughout this match. Taya did get the win onto Tasha and everything, pretty much in the road to Valhalla. But Kiera Hogan and Tasha jumped up from behind as Bravo broke him up. Taya wondered, where were you? Why weren't you in the ring? Moose, who was on a plane going somewhere, I guess looking for EC3. I guess he went to his high school football coach or something, it looked like. And there was a photo of Moose back there. And Moose said, have you seen EC3? And he didn't know what he looked like. And he says, listen, man, he's this guy. He looked like some dude they knew. He had a black hoodie on and, black hair and everything, which his coach said he didn't know him and whatnot and told him good luck. But then next he says to control your own narrative. Moose said, what did you just say? And he says, you've been warned. Next thing you know, this weird dude that looked like EC3 for a second, but these three guys in hoodies pretty much came in. And Moose knocked him down as his coach cheered him. I don't know where that was going with this segment this week, since Moose took a plane to wherever he took it to find EC3. I have no idea what it is, but it was a map last week, so we'll see where Moose is hunting. But that was some, psycho weird stuff right there, especially having, Moose beat up random guys, and his coach is now almost like some type of zombie and whatnot, being controlled by EC3 or brainwashed. I don't know, but I know they had a flashback, which I guess had to do with Moose and EC3, even though it was a whole different thing before they were even a feud. I don't think they were a feud at the time anyways, but they had something going with that. I know Eddie Edwards and Mike Bennett was in it. Rhino and Heath Slater were in the back of the building talking about what happened last week, and we got this campaign, so it's going to cost money. And Rhino says, I know we can get some cold hard cash. We don't got to feed your kids and everything, so we'll see what Eric Young and Rhino are trying to do right here. But in the main event, we got Eric Young versus Tommy Dreamer in an old school rules match. Basically, this was a hardcore match in general and whatnot. It's not much I can say from this, but in both of these two beating each other up with weapons. There was a table involved. Eric Young a little blowing him. Dreamer trying to slam through the table and whatnot, hit him with a Death Valley driver. But Eric Young using his hockey mask then to hit Tommy Dreamer with and hit him with a pile driver. Then after he started beating up Dreamer with the kendo stick, it was going to put his leg into a chair. But Rich Swan, who returned coming out in crutches, hobbling his way to the ring as fast as he could with a boot on it, chasing Eric Young out. Eric Young said, I took you out. But Rich Swan basically said he's coming back for him. Obviously, this is probably going to set up a match, hopefully, in the Bound for Glory by next month, okay? If they can build this well enough for the next few weeks, especially with Swan being taken out by Eric Young back at Slammiversary, he can finally get his big revenge right there and take the world title off of him at Bound for Glory. I'm just calling it an idea right now, but I expect it to be a match at that time, especially him making the chase. But EY did just get the belt, so I don't know if EY will lose at Bound for Glory, but we'll see what happens with this. That is very interesting, but Rich Swan is back, though. Dreamer's dreaming when it comes to going against anybody, basically another hardcore match and whatnot, but most of it is just on Eric Young and Rich Swan now, since Rich Swan is back after Eric Young took him out at Slammiversary, so we'll see what happens coming. And he still is selling the leg here, folks, since Eric Young did take out his leg back at Slammiversary, having him forced to quote-unquote retire and whatnot. So we'll see what happens from this, but I still think it's going to be a match against at Bound for Glory for the world title itself. But other than that, though, that is my Impact Wrestling review. Follow me on Twitter, at Hooded9890. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this show, and we'll see what happens then, okay? But other than that, I am done with this review of Impact this week. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.